Shalom, brothers and sisters. Wanted to go over something that I personally kind of feel is a crucial matter in the scriptures itself. In the book of 2 Samuel 126, because some people try to insinuate the idea that David and Jonathan in the Bible were homosexuals. In 2 Samuel 126, let's gain some understanding. I am distressed over you, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant hast thou been to me. Your love to me was more wonderful, passing the love of woman. What that is talking about right there, let's understand this here. Let's get into the Hebrew of this so we can try to gain some understanding. Then understand something about life. The Hebrew says, Zardali, Aleka Aki Yehonatan, Na'am Tali, Me'od, Nifla'at, Ahabad Kali, Me'ahabat Nashim. Now, one of the things to be noted, brothers and sisters, and understood is the relationship that David and Jonathan had, which is unlike a lot of the friendships that people in nowadays have, where people are flaky, people are funny, people are disloyal, people are dishonest, people are not friends for friends, they're friends for their own personal reasons, and so forth and so on. In this particular case, like what happened with David and Jonathan, those are two friends who were really, really close friends. A lot of people today can't understand that kind of friendship because they're phony in their friendships. Now, one of the things also to other point out is that at this time, Jonathan had just been actually, in this case, killed in a war. So he was gone. He was dead. And so when a person is in mourning, they wind up speaking about certain things that's real deep. Now, let's understand something about Ak. Ak in Hebrew means brother. That's another thing that a lot of people lack: brotherhood and sisterhood, familyhood, nationhood. So anybody who can just read a verse such as this and don't understand what brother is, don't understand what family ties are, don't understand their particular relationship. Na'am Tali, thou hast been pleasant unto me, me'od, very pleasant. Nif la'ata ahabatka, your love was wonderful unto me. May ahabat nashim. May in this case means from or of, meaning that the love that David and Jonathan had superseded the love that David even had for women. Now, when anybody tries to sit there and state that there had to have been homosexual relations, I have to ask you, is that the only thing that you see love in women for in sex? Because if David is saying that Jonathan's love for David and David's love for Jonathan was more wonderful between them, between the love that David had for women, I have to ask you, if you're saying that David is speaking about sexuality and sex acts, do you think love and women have to automatically imply sex? And if so, what does that say about your relationship with women? See, these are the kind of people that don't understand this word here, such as ak, which means brother, because they only see people as objects and not as actual people who have feelings and emotions and so forth and so on. So when you are cut off from that mentally, when you have no kind of rationale, you may say, or no kind of substance to yourself, you're basically almost like a big baby jellyfish, like my daughter might say, and her trying to make a joke about something, but speaking back on a serious note, when you have that kind of mentality, certain things is not going to come to you. The Apocrypha teaches, test a friend to see if such is worthy of being such. So when you go actually in Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, or Ecclesiasticus, the 5th chapter, in the Apocrypha, it shows you about the qualities of what a friend is. And David and Jonathan had that kind of friendship where it says in the scriptures that one soul was knit to the other. But if you think there had to been some kind of oral or anal sexuality thing, that means that your mindset only thinks of sex. Your mind is, as this sisters might say, your mind is in a gutter. You see, so there is a distinction between, now in Hebrew, between sex and any other aspect. Sex in Hebrew is said as two different words. One word being the word shakab, which means to lie or to lie carnally. Not the word lie as in being deceitful. That is the Hebrew word shakwa. But the word shakab means to lie or to lie carnally. Then you have the other Hebrew word agab, which means to be intimate in that kind of sexual type of way. Ahab, meaning love, does not mean to make love sexually, brothers and sisters. That's the same root word ahab that a son would have for his mother, or that a daughter would have for her mother, or that a sister would have for her brother, or that a father would have toward his wife. Now, mind you, a husband and wife can have sex and not even have any love for each other. Men and women have sex all the time, and there is no love in some cases between them. So sex and love is not the same thing, brothers and sisters. So now getting back into this point right here, it says, Zarli aleka ake Yehonatan. Distress is upon me, or distress is to me, concerning you, my brother Jonathan. You have to be able to understand that if a man just passed away and that's your man in that aspect, that's your roll dog, to use it in layman terms, and that person passes away, and David at this point was not even married, David at this point had not had any children, and so forth and so on, it's not too hard to figure out exactly where David would have been coming from. And if you think, brothers and sisters, that loving your brother as a man means that the people had to have been sexual because it says passing the love of women, that also got to ask, as stated, what do you think about loving women, and if that is only sexual when a man loves a woman? Get your mind out the gutter. Shalom.